This guy is reverse looks maxing. He's looks minimizing. And so what he wants is the maximum amount of asymmetry of the body. And so Coach Greg, in today's video, it's on the crooked man. In 2025, people will do anything to be famous. And so this guy is reverse looks maxing. He's looks minimizing. He's doing whatever it takes to look as bad as possible. And so what he wants is the maximum amount of asymmetry of the body. And so in bodybuilding, we want to have the same size on the left as on the right. For me, I tore my triceps, and so it's smaller in here. And so it doesn't look as good as it once did. But ideally, you want both sides of the body the same size. And so he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm only going to train one side of my body. The right bicep, delt, tricep, the trap, perhaps the right obliques, and the quads, hamstrings, the calves, only one side of the body, and I'm going to see what happens. And so I'll tell you what happens. You're going to look like a moron. I mean, this is simply what you're doing. And so yes, you're going to get attention, but it's not the kind of attention that you want. It's kind of the type of attention you get when you inject synthol. You know those guys that have arms the size of my head, but it looks stupid and people are wondering what you're doing? Or like those girls that get the lips that are too big, you know, the hot dog lips, or the ones who get the BBLs, those stupid BBLs that you just know there's something off. They have stick legs and a huge ass and you're wondering, what's wrong with them? Or for example, Drake, who got a mommy makeover on his abs. It's so obvious, and so it looks stupid. And so this is what this guy's doing. Yeah, one trap looks bigger than the other. Now, when I first saw this, I simply thought he had a goiter. I was thinking, oh, well, you know, some people are born with this. There's nothing they can do. And so I'm thinking, hey, let's not make fun of this guy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's genetic. One thing you shouldn't do is make fun of people for something that they can't do anything about. They're born with it. For example, my height. 5'6" tall. Some people call us short kings. I just call us short. I ain't the king of anything. I'm 5'6", but remember, I'm 6'5" when I'm sitting on my wallet. He clearly has one arm better developed than the other. The biceps, the shoulders, the traps, especially the traps. Very suspicious. But if he continues to do this, it's going to continue to look more and more asymmetrical. Now, you may have heard of something known as cross education. This is where you train one side of the body. The other is going to get a benefit, but this is neurological, as in its strength, not size. And so if you just do right arm bicep curls all the time, your left arm isn't going to get bigger, but it can in fact get stronger. And so if you are injured and for a set period of time, you can't train one side of the body. For example, when I broke my elbow or the other elbow or my leg or my shoulder or the operator, when you get injured through all these things, you still train because the other body part, it's going to be of benefit. That is important to know. Now, remember, the problems with this are not just cosmetic. You might be thinking, oh, it's cool. I'll just have one arm 4 inches bigger than the other. Now, if all that happened or could go wrong was your looks, well, it wouldn't really be all that big of a deal. But when you have muscle imbalances, it can cause long-term problems with your health. Even dating back to my early 20s, I was using an alternate grip for deadlifts. Alternate grip, one on this side, one on the other. I trained like this for years and suddenly I got injured. I went to the chiropractor and they said, you're so much more developed here than on this side. Your range of motion's different, your flexibility, everything was off. I proceeded to explain that I deadlifted like this. He says, that's it. You need to switch up your grips one side to the other to create balance. And so what I ended up doing was warming up on one side, and then for the big lifts like maxing out and so on, I would then go to the regular grip. I did that so that I wouldn't have asymmetrical development. Small changes can make huge impact on the body. If your leg is a half a centimeter longer than the other, over the course of many steps, thousands, perhaps 100,000 of steps running and so on, you can develop several different kinds of pains. And so if he continues to do this, the muscles are going to pull on one side harder than the other. It's going to create a lot of problems. Let's go to the comments. You're starting to look like me. Be careful. I don't get what that means. Who is this guy? Tanner. Okay. Tanner is a para-Olympian. He has one arm greatly more developed than the other. And so he's thinking,
why would you on purpose try to do this?
Just so you see, Tanner, one arm is clearly more developed than the other. Doesn't mean he's not an amazing athlete. Clearly he is. But you shouldn't on purpose try to look like you have some form of a disability. 225,000 likes. Incredible. Best comment, peak comedy, OMG, hilarious. People love it. As a chiropractor, wouldn't recommend intentionally causing that much compensation. As a non-chiropractor who has just as much cred, I agree this is a bad idea. I don't think it takes a chiropractor or a medical professional to say that this is not a good idea. What a strange thing for your free will to choose to do. Yeah, he's probably the only moron in the world who's decided to do something as dumb as this. I always forget that we can just do things, like do anything, we have free will. Please stop, bro, please. It's just not worth any amount of clout or fame. Why button? Looks minimizing, brilliant. Surely this is terrible for the spine. I mean, it reminds me of that arm wrestler that went against Larry Wheels. He had that freaky Popeye arm. Reminds me of that a little bit. There's a lot of professional baseball players and they always throw with one side, obviously. And so they have one arm way more developed than the other. Self-induced scoliosis is an absolutely wild thing to do to the one body that you will have forever. The scoliosis gets really bad to the point where you'll be feeling the pain in your joints. It'll be a long, hard journey to reverse the damage done. Please stop. 50% peak male performance. Bro's literally disfiguring himself for clout. Day one. I still want to see day one of the journey. And so there's day one. Fantastic. Time to stop, bro. You've proved your point. You've also shown your followers that muscles will grow if you keep training them. Can you please do the other side after day 200? I respect the hustle, dude, but JFC, the views and everything else is not worth the health risk of doing this. Now, this is what's interesting to me. Now, he isn't using performance-enhancing drugs. At least I don't think he is. He could obviously be taking peptides in that one side of the body. Maybe he's injecting IGF-1 in just the right side of the body. But he's just training one side of the body. And clearly, we know that this is stupid. It's going to make him less healthy. It can cause pains and so on, disfigurement. But how is this different than bodybuilding? In bodybuilding, you do this to both sides of the body, which is healthier and great and important, but you're using steroids. Now, I get it. There are some natural bodybuilders, not many. But if you're abusing performance-enhancing drugs, you're literally taking years away from your health. You're affecting your organs negatively. You're hurting your heart. You could get a stroke, heart attack, gynecomastia, lose your hair. There's so many things you can get. Is bodybuilding not technically worse? Now, the reason it's not, at least in our own minds, is because we like bodybuilders, because they look hot, they're attractive. We enjoy looking at them. This guy, it's kind of repulsive to see somebody disfigured who has one body part better than the other, who's doing it on purpose. Remember, beauty, it's intrinsic, it's biological. We are born to see certain things as beautiful. For example, a smaller waist, larger hips, perhaps some curves on a female. Biologically, we're trained from birth to like these things. There's nothing we can do. We see it and we like it. We can't help it. In nature, symmetry is beautiful. For example, the same height ear on this side and that ear, perhaps the same high eyebrow, the eyes are lined up. That is seen as beautiful. Now, if I had one eye down here and one over there, it would probably turn some people away. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad person for having these things. You're just not beautiful. You're not. And so this guy on purpose is de-evolving. He's becoming less beautiful on purpose. In bodybuilding, they build more muscles, more strength, the definition, abs, is symmetry. And so we see it as beautiful. But the problem is, at what lengths do these athletes go to achieve it? Now, bodybuilding is probably going to take off years of your life more than this. And so one could argue that this actually is safer than bodybuilding. I'm just trying to present both sides of the story. Now, just like bodybuilders who talk to their doctors to minimize their side effects, this is a point that was made. Have you talked to doctors about this? Obviously, they would tell you to stop immediately, but maybe it'd still be good to find out how to minimize the ill effects from this. I mean, does it not sound like bodybuilding? If you go to a doctor and say, I'm using Test, Tren, and D-Ball, and I'm preparing for a bodybuilding competition, I'm taking T3, Clen, and so on, the doctors say, stop, don't do that. It's not good. And you're saying, yeah, but I'm doing a show. I'm going to do it anyway. And the doctors say, well, let's minimize those risks. Let's use telmisartan, statins. Let's monitor your blood pressure. Let's make sure this. Let's make sure that. And so let's monitor you for your safety. And so saying, hey, go check out with a doctor to minimize the risk. And so how is this any different? And frankly, smoking cigarettes is far worse. It's carcinogenic, and drinking alcohol. Class 1 carcinogen. You're literally drinking poison. This guy isn't drinking poison. He's not smoking. He's doing this too much. Perhaps he's just trying to invent a new dance. He's trying to get jiggy with it, as Will Tennyson or Will Smith would have said. And so I don't think it's that big a deal. I've seen far worse. I've seen people disfigure themselves. I've seen people with their teeth falling out, looking horrendous. They're doing too much math. And so it could be worse. You know what would be really funny? Shaving that eyebrow. I mean, if he's literally trying to looks minimize, shouldn't he disfigure one side of his body a little bit more? I mean, let's have one cool looking hairstyle on one side. Let's shave off the other side. Let's shave off an eyebrow. Let's whiten our teeth on one side. Let's get one contact lens, but not in the other. Let's get a proper tan on one side and let's be white on the left. I think he could do so much better. And so he needs to hire a coach. Now, if you're interested in getting a coach, Coach Greg, you can apply by clicking the link in the description. I coach people. You're going to improve your body. And if you're trying to looks minimize like this, I'll tell you exactly what to do. But if you're looking to lose weight, put on muscle, which is what more people's goals are going to be, I can help you do that as well. If you're looking to get a girlfriend, I can teach you anything. Guys, I'm your life coach, your diet coach. I'm your coach of life. And so if you have low testosterone, I got you covered. I got G-Test Platinum. Got Turk Platinum. If you're interested in putting on more muscle, we got G-Test Max, GLP Max, Delta Sleep, G-Shred. Got all these things. Harder than last time for the downstairs, so you can get Blue Lobster pre-workout. And so if you're interested, get to the website, code Greg, 15% off. And remember, money back guarantee and a $20 gift card. If you're expecting the product to work and then it didn't for you for some reason, your money back. It's not complicated. And so don't worry. You can try it at no risk to yourself. And I must say the launch of Turk Platinum greatly exceeded expectations. Sales were through the roof. Buy it, try it. You're going to want some more. Get the supplements the entire world is now talking about. And if you're interested in being a part of the HTLT company, we're looking for ambassadors as well as sponsored athletes. And so if you're interested, apply by clicking the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, cookbooks, training books, Circle Diet Book, clothing line, website, 15% off code Greg. Next time, out.